Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And I am here with a special message for all of you on New Year's Eve day. It is time. I've talked about this in the past week or so that this was coming, and here it is. It is officially time to give Jacob Markstrom his flowers. That is right, my friends. It is beyond time to give Jacob Markstrom his flowers. I'm going to take a couple minutes here to really analyze the special season that this man is having for your New Jersey Devils, and so that everyone could just take a step back and enjoy what we are witnessing as this New Jersey Devils 2024-2025 season continues to roll on, and the boys are looking great. The boys are really looking great, and a lot of that is in part to the phenomenal play of Jacob Markstrom. Now, a lot of you, a good amount of you, I would say, were very hesitant when the Markstrom rumors first surfaced, dating back to last season. Now, I will say proudly that when the name first popped up, I was all about getting Jacob Markstrom. Now, there was a few other guys out there, etc., but I thought for the price, the term, and being in a true win-now window, which I believe the Devils have been since that 22-23 season, I really believe that was the window was open. It was time to win. I thought Markstrom fit well. While not a long-term solution, I believe that, at the time even, that he could bring us to a cup. I really believe that, and a lot of people, oh, he's old and his best years are behind him, blah, blah, blah. In the end, I've seen Markstrom here and there over the years. The guy's been a gamer, was never in the right scenario, really, to truly go far, and I believe in the twilight of his career, Jacob Markstrom could bring your New Jersey Devils to a Stanley Cup championship. I really do, but let's just take a look at last season, the situation in goal. And we see here, Akira Schmid last season, 19 games played, went 5-9-1, with a save percentage of .895 and a goals against of .315. Again, those numbers aren't going to get it done. I had hope for Akira Schmid. Personally, he will forever be a legend in my book because of his performance in that playoff series against the Rangers when we were down 2-0 going to the Garden. Vanacek fell apart. Lindy goes to Akira Schmid, and the rest is history. He goes in the Garden, wins both of those games. They win Game 5, ultimately lose Game 6 of the Garden, but then come back and shut the Rangers out in Game 7. I mean, Akira Schmid, legend in my book. And, I had hoped that maybe he could be the next franchise goaltender. I think a lot of things kind of along the way went awry and it didn't pan out. But last season, obviously not a good one for him or any of these other gentlemen listed here. But you see, .895 and .315 goals against, not going to get it done. And then we go to Vanacek, 32 games played. He was 17-9-3 with a .890 save percentage, a little bit worse than Schmid's, and a goals against of 3.18, a little bit worse than Akira Schmid's. But those numbers, by and large, are nearly identical. .005 difference on the save percentage and .03 differential on the goals against. Obviously, neither one of them recording a shutout. Those were the two main guys, that were part of that season last year. And then you see the secondary level kind of players. And we go to Nico Dawes, 21 games played, 9-11 with a save percentage of .894 and a goals against of .315. Again, and his numbers are almost identical in there as well. And when you look at Nico Dawes and Schmid, my God, goals against exactly the same, and the save percentage .001 off. So all three of those guys are really right there. And then you go to Jake Allen, who had a pretty good start after we got him, and then he kind of cooled off. Jake Allen, 13 games played, 6-6-1 with a save percentage of .900, which none of the other guys could have got, and a goals against of .311. And then finally, Kaapo Kähkönen in 6 games played was 1-4 with a save percentage of .923 and a goals against of .251. Clearly way better numbers. Oh, don't let me forget, he also recorded our only shutout of the season, super late in the season at Philadelphia. But Kaapo Kähkönen, I liked what I saw from him, and honestly, I wanted him back as a backup goalie for this season. I knew that wasn't going to happen because when we traded for Jake Allen, Fitz essentially said he's going to be the backup for the following season, meaning this season, which I thought was kind of strange, and I wasn't a fan of that, and I still would have rather had Kähkönen, to be honest, just because he's younger, and I think he has a higher ceiling. But when you look at this body of work by the goaltenders, it was very, very clear that the weakest link of many, but the weakest link of the New Jersey Devils last season was the goaltending. When you look at this body of work for the goaltenders from last year, the 23-24 season, your 3 goalies that we had all year leading up to the deadline all had save percentages of under 900, not a good sign, and goals against of 315 or higher. That is absolutely not going to get it done in the NHL. Fitz decided to go out and get 2 goalies at the deadline. In my opinion, too little, too late. That's why I was super critical of him last season, because I felt like it was a wasted season. I do believe if we had gotten Jake Allen or Kakinen or someone along the lines of that, we could have had a fighting chance to get in the playoffs. That's a whole separate issue. I think it was an organizational decision to just kind of mail it in, but I digress. An issue for another day. But clearly, the goaltending for last season was not getting it done. Fitz knew this, as did the rest of the hockey world and all the fans. And he said, we got to improve. And aside from improving the goaltending, he also went out and improved the defense, got us some more grit, heavier, edgier, more violent. And the new identity of the team started to form, but it starts with the goaltending. And so he gets Jacob Markstrom. I was pumped. A lot of people, again, going back to he's old and blah, blah, blah. I believed in the dude the whole time. I thought for a couple years that he had remaining on his contract, it was a great play. Absolutely great play. And he got off to, I would say, this season to an average start. A lot of people burying him. Listen, every goalie gives up some soft goals here and there. It happens. Marky is not exempt from that. He's given up his fair share of soft goals. And the earlier stretch of the season, he had pretty average numbers, I would say, which most of us last season were saying, if we get average NHL goaltending, we're going to be a good team. And I believe that even heading into this season. But after the initial wave of games, as the team started to kind of find their identity under General Sheldon Keefe, and the defense started locking it down a little bit more, and everything started to come together, Jacob Markstrom has emerged as an absolute monster. Marky the Monster. And in his last 10 games, guys, this is mind-blowing stuff. So just really appreciate what we're looking at here, because it is absolutely insane. Jacob Markstrom's last 10 games, he has a record of 9 wins, 0 losses, and an overtime loss with a goals against average of 1.39. I repeat, a goals against average of 1.39 and a save percentage of .933. This is a 10-game stretch for the absolute ages. We just look at the log here. The last 10 games goes back to November 29th. He allowed 4 in the victory at Detroit. A few days later, he gives up 1 goal and a beautiful 5-1 beating of the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Then we go to the 6th, a home victory at the Rock. Devils beat the Kraken 3-2. On the 10th, a agonizing 2-1 overtime loss. But that Austin Matthews, oh man, that breakaway was, that one kills me. That was a game we easily could have won. But a 2-1 loss at home to the Maple Leafs. And then Marky gives up 1 goal on December 12th and a 3-1 victory over the LA Kings. And then obviously one of the most memorable games of the year thus far, December 14th against Chicago. Marky gives up 1 in that beautiful win over the Blackhawks. A few days later, another 1-goal outing for Marky in the victory over the Blues on the road. And then we come back home on 12/21, shuts out the Penguins. Nice 12-save shutout. A lot of people trying to detract from the shutout. Oh, it was only 12 saves. Listen, guys. You could only stop the rubber that comes at you, and some of them were pretty good shots. It is what it is. I'll take 12-shot shutouts any day of the week. But Marky records his second of the season there against the Penguins. And then 2 days later, another 12-save shutout against the Rangers. Back-to-back shutouts for Marky. The defense was playing lights out, obviously. And yes, they are a big piece of the turnaround of the team and the success of Jacob Markstrom. But Jacob Markstrom has been phenomenal, guys. And then we close it out here. 12-27 against the Canes. Another 2 goals against in the big win at home there, and the Devils 4-2 win. So now you're talking about a body of work over the last 10 games. 9-0-1. Only blemish on the record is that overtime loss to the Leafs, which we were very much in the game, obviously, and could have won. A goals against of 1.39, which is mind-blowing, and a save percentage of .933. So in those 10 games, he had two shutouts. He gave up 1 goal 4 times. He gave up 2 goals 3 times and 4 goals once. What a body of work. Jacob Markstrom has been an absolute beast for your New Jersey Devils in these last 10 games. It's been a treat to see. I've told you guys I'm an old school fan. I grew up completely spoiled. The great Martin Brodeur. There'll never be another one like him. He's the greatest of all time. But those Devils dynasty years and all those Stanley Cups were won off the backs of Marty and a great defense and role players throughout the lineup. And I've said time and time again, while this team is not those teams, in my humble opinion, this year's team is the most reminiscent of those teams. And again, going back to the identity of strong goaltending, strong defense, and a well-balanced forward group with depth players and a little bit of grit and tenacity and all that stuff. And this roster is the closest thing we've seen to that, in my opinion, and that is why I am so fired up and jacked up about the season. So now we see Marky's been completely on fire the last 10 games. There's nothing more to say. I mean, it is an insane run that he's been on. Hopefully he can keep it up. But now we just look, where does that put Marky in terms of, stats for the year? We look at goals against. Jacob Markstrom is in second place in the entire league with a 2.11 goals against, second to only Connor Hellebuck with a 2.06. Love to see it right at the top of the goals against list. Then we go to the save percentage. Jacob Markstrom is in 9th right now with .914. And there's a couple other guys right there. I mean, you don't really see a huge improvement really until you get to number 3, Philip Gustafson at .923. But a bunch of the guys right above him are in the 9 teens. 9, 15, 16, 17, 18. So a couple good games he could climb up on the save percentage list as well, but 9 is nothing to scoff at in terms of save percentage. And then we go to shutouts. Jacob Markstrom tied for second with Linus Ullmark and Lankinen and Saros and Sam Montembeault. All of them in that pack have 3 shutouts apiece, only trailing Connor Hellebuck, who has 4 shutouts. Shutouts? New Jersey Devils shutout hockey. Let's go. And then we just finally get to the overall picture here. We get to wins. The biggest one. Really, wins is what it's all about. Jacob Markstrom, second in the National. Second in the whole National Hockey League with 19 wins. Come on, Marky. Second only to Connor Hellebuck, once again, who has 23 wins. And when you just look at the stats there, Hellebuck has played a couple more games than Marky, but Marky has 19 wins. Hellebuck has 23. Marky with a .914 save percentage. Hellebuck with an astounding .928. And then their goals against are very close. Marky again at .211. Connor Hellebuck at .206. Marky 3 shutouts to Hellebuck's 4. And wow. I will say, after the 22-23 season, heading into the offseason, I personally, along with some of my buddies, I was not sold on Akira Schmidt and Vanacek, and when the rumors for Hellebuck came out, I was all in. Again, I am a disciple of the Lou Lamoriello era, and Uncle Lou always said you build a team from the net out. We were spoiled with the great Martin Brodeur, and I saw cups as a result, and so I've always been a firm believer in that. When the rumors for Hellebuck to the Devils potentially came out, I was all in. I wanted Hellebuck bad because I do believe he is one of those elite goaltenders that is the ultimate X factor, gives you a chance to win every night, can steal games, can steal playoff series. That didn't work out, obviously. He re-signed in Winnipeg, water under the bridge now. But Jacob Markstrom is also capable of doing that for not as many years, obviously. This is a more short-term play, but I was elated when we got Jacob Markstrom. I told you guys I believe he could be the X factor, that he can show flashes of elite goaltending on some nights, but just give us a chance to win each and every night, and he's been doing that. The numbers clearly show it. He's having a phenomenal year. It is time to acknowledge this man for what he's done. Give Marky his flowers. I am giving Jacob Markstrom his flowers right now. Marky, you are the man. I believe in you. Most of the Devils fans believe in you. There are some very negative ones, but that's every sports team fan base. You're never going to have 100% of them. But I believe this man and his beautiful masks. Let's just talk about Marky's masks for a minute. This guy's rolling out a new mask every couple of weeks, and they're phenomenal. The newest one he wore with the teeth and everything, super sick mask. Back-to-back shutouts. I really thought he was going to wear it against the Canes. I thought he had back-to-back shutouts. I thought he was going to wear it despite he has like matching masks for the different jerseys. I thought he was going to break the streak and say, screw it. I have 2 shutouts in 2 games with this mask, but he did go back to his black mask for the Jersey game against Carolina, which I thought was interesting. But guys, enjoy the show. Jacob Markstrom has been a beast. If he continues to play anywhere near this level, along with the rest of the team, obviously, the defense included, a big part of a goaltender's success. But if this continues on for the rest of the season, it is going to be a fun season. We are going to be in the race of the Metro down the stretch with the Canes and the Caps. And when the playoffs come, nobody in the East is going to want to play your New Jersey Devils because they are going to be a tough out. And wow, I'm fired up. We got the Ducks tonight. Little New Year's Eve special. I'll be here with a pre-game live as well as a post-game live. Check the channel for that. If you're newer to the channel, poke around, a bunch of interesting stuff. But I've promised this video to you guys for about a week now, and we had to take a look at Marky and what he's been doing. And as of late, he's been a beast. His numbers on the season are absolutely beautiful. And hopefully this man backstops your New Jersey Devils to a Stanley Cup. I could visualize Marky throwing his mask and eventually getting the cup. I could see it all. I could see it all vividly. And I hope it happens. We got this year and at least next year with Marky. If he looks good next year and plays well, you never know. I've said this for a while as well. He could be re-signed for another year. It is not written in stone that he will be moving on or retiring after next season. And I hope he stays stellar and we see him signed for a couple years. I have no problem with that, but I always believed in Marky. I'm here to brag a little bit about it. I told you so, a little bit. And Jacob Markstrom, guys, give him his flowers. The man's a beast. I'll be back soon. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. Let me know everything Devils hockey. Just throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. I'll be back soon. Tons of stuff in the works. Pre-game live, post-game live, all of that. And I'll be back soon. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go